we also have document approval workflow. I will demo this later. This is very important because every time you have a document that is kind of binding in nature, you want to make sure that you have a good version control. So let's say you're working on an SOW for a big project within the ministry. Of course, there are revisions of the contract. You need to provide input, you need to provide suggestions. Essentially, you're spending much time on iterating the document, revising the document. But once the document is final, you can lock the document to make sure that no one else can edit the document anymore, and you can get your manager's approval on that document. I will demo this later to show you how easy it is to get approvals on a document and also lock your final version of the document. Another thing is you can edit your Office documents. This is also a myth that you've probably heard. If you use Google Workspace, you will not be able to use your Office files anymore, your Microsoft files. It is not true. Why? Because with Google Drive, Google Docs, Sheets, and Slides, you can actually edit your Office documents in Google Workspace. So if you notice here in the screen, I have an Excel file. So it says .xlsx, right? If I double click that, it will simply just open a Google Sheets for me, and you can see the extension remains as XLSX. So what it does is that we are not converting your file into Google Sheets file. It's just an Excel file that you can edit within Google Sheets in this case. So you can do a real-time collaboration on this file, something that you cannot even do in Microsoft Excel, right? But if you open that Excel file in Google Sheets, you'll be able to collaborate easily with other parties. Then after that, if you're happy with this, you can just leave it open because it will autosave. You can also download this to other formats as you wish if you want to convert this. So essentially, you don't have to worry about having Microsoft Office files in your environment or data that are existing within the ministry that are made or that were created in Microsoft Office. Those files can be opened and can be edited in Google Workspace. Okay, so we have a lot more features. Of course, I cannot cover everything, but I will cover some of the things that can trigger some ideas for you to be more collaborative. So we also have something called Smart Canvas. This is something very unique to us because with Smart Canvas, we are making your document alive. So documents for us is no longer about text and images. With Google Docs, you can have documents within documents. You can have tables that are dynamic. You can just, maybe I'll demo this slightly later. You can attach a presentation in your Google Docs. So you can type together with your other colleagues. You can build meeting minutes, meeting notes easily with a click of a button. So with Smart Canvas, you can do a lot of things to help you build documents faster in Google Docs. And also there's a built-in summary. So let's say you have a very long document. You just quickly see the summary on the left-hand side here. It will summarize the information that matters in the document. So when you open a document that you're not familiar about, you can immediately see what this document is about, right? So it helps you in collaboration. We also have pageless format because we know people these days, they tend to put a lot of things in their document, not the traditional way where you have a margin, where you have maybe an A4 letter space where you can just type your information within A4 space. We don't care about that anymore. We have a pageless format. With pageless format, you don't have a boundary anymore. the view of your document will automatically follow your device real estate. So if your device is narrow, then the document will be automatically adjusted. If your device is wide, it will be adjusted as well. And building blocks, I mentioned to before, you can build a lot of things within Google Docs. I'll demo this a bit later to show you how it can be done in Google Docs. And I think this is my last slide on feature. So from the documents, you can also join Google Meet section. So let's say you are working on a proposal or maybe a contract together with your colleagues. Maybe there's 10 of you in a team, right? So when you are typing on this document together real time at the same time, you can also join a Google Meet session. So you just need to click on this Google Meet function. You can see this in your Google account too. Just click on that and you'll be able to be connected with other colleagues in a Google Meet session. So with this, you can type your responses. You can see other faces as well. You can speak to them real time. Other people can also chime into the document and then edit the document at the same time. Within Google, we do this a lot because every day we are collaborating with each other. Even before this webinar, I shared this Google Slides with my colleague asking for their feedback, and they can simply just add more slides for me to present. At the same time, I also see the updates live in my screen, so we don't have to maintain multiple versions of the document. It works very seamlessly. All you need to do is just to add in the information. All you need to do is just to communicate with other people through this interface. Now, you might think about the security of the Google Workspace, right? Because from my explanation before, it looks like you can do a lot of things in Google Workspace. You can do this to collaborate more productively with your colleagues. We have so many things. We help you collaborate. We help you with your video conferencing. We help you with your communications through Google Chat and also Gmail. At the same time, we also make sure you are secure while you're using all these tools and features. So we also secure your identity. Your identity is essentially your Google account, your username, and your password. We make sure that it's always secure. We use artificial intelligence to detect any suspicious logins to your accounts, so that if we note that, we will notify you immediately. All these come within Chrome browser. So if you use Chrome browser, Chrome browser itself has a lot of security behind it. Google Chrome browser to date is still the most secure browser in the world. So if you're using Google Chrome browser, you're rest assured you're actually secured by Google without you knowing. Google will proactively give you safe browsing experience. So let's say you open an email that has a link to a suspicious or maybe to a malicious website that want to steal your data. Google, since we are search engine company, the largest one, we know we have a database of what's good and what's bad, which links are legitimate, which links are suspicious, which links are malicious. We know all this information so that when you are doing your online activity in your Chrome browser, we actually protect you from those malicious ones. You probably noticed this too. Sometimes when you open a link, Google will actually show a warning page that says, this URL looks suspicious. Are you sure you want to go ahead? Are you sure you want to proceed with opening this website, and so on? That is a built-in security functionality within Google Chrome because we want to protect you. This is something that other vendors or other providers cannot do at our scale. It's just because the scale that we have within Google itself, because we have that safe browsing technology. equipped with our AI tools as well. And whatever you use in Google Workspace in your Gmail, it is the same infrastructure that Google internally use. So for internal Google employees, of course, we want to make sure that our data is always secure. That's why we have all these tools developed for Google initially. Then we use the same tool for the public too. So if you're using Google products, you're basically using the same products that Google employees use internally. In fact, Gmail was launched, I think, about more than 25 years ago. It is now the largest email platform in the world, but at the time, it was just an experimental. So at the time, we noticed that we didn't have any email platform internally. So our engineers built one. Our engineers built Gmail. It was supposed to be an internal project for us to have an internal email. But because of its power, because of its security, we decided to make it public to the users. I still remember at the time Gmail was advertising this private access to Gmail, because Gmail at the time was still beta. A lot of people were signing up to Gmail beta at that time. It was very limited amount of people who did that because it was very limited at the time, right? But since then, a lot of things has happened to Gmail, right? A lot of improvement, a lot of security measures in place, a lot of AI technology built in, so that you have a rich tool within Gmail that is very powerful, at the same time that's also secure. Like what I've said previously, we have 99.9% accuracy in blocking spam. And why is that possible? It's just because of our way to secure the email. So this is probably getting too technical, but I'll just quickly explain this to you. Every time you receive an email in your Gmail mailbox, we do all these steps and checking behind the scene without you knowing. So when an email comes to your inbox, we do something that's called pre-delivery. So we do a sanitizing on your email. We do a deep scanning of your email. We also do antivirus check. So all of this happening behind the scene without you knowing. What you see is basically an email comes to your mailbox, but behind the scene, all this are happening. And then when you click the email, there are several processes also behind the scene. So let's say antivirus check, and also checking the downloads of your attachment. If we see your attachment is suspicious, we will give you a warning not to download the attachment. So that's also one of the ways we protect you as a user. We also give you warning banners, especially emails that are coming from suspicious senders. We will give you warning at the top, so that you understand that this could be harmful. And also we do encryption verification and whatnot. It actually doesn't stop there. Even though you have opened the email, when you click download of the attachment, we will do antivirus check as well. We will give you a preview of the document so you can check the legitimacy of the attachment. If the preview says that, oh, this document looks very suspicious, you can decide not to download the document, right? Because the document can be full of malware that can affect your laptop, for example. So Google protects you from that. We don't stop there. Every time you click a link in your email, whether it's a website, whether it's a Google Calendar, whether it's an attachment, we do a safe browsing check. Like what I've said before, Google has a safe browsing technology and database. We know what links are good, which links are bad. So when you click anything in your email, there is a sub-second delay where Google is actually checking that link against our database. If we notice that there's a suspicious activity involved around this link, we will actually stop you from opening that link. We will give you a banner and then ask you to verify whether you want to open the link or not. This comes in handy because not many email platforms out there do this method. For us, we always do this. So every time you click a link, we do a checking on your behalf. The same goes when you are responding to emails too. So when you click reply, we want to make sure you want to address the right audience. So let's say the people in the ministry are using Google Workspace. When they send out to someone else outside of the ministry, they will get a warning at the top saying that this email goes out of the domain, goes out of the organization or the ministry. So that just to give you an idea on how it works behind the scene to protect you as user. So with this, when you're communicating with Google Docs, Sheets and Slides, and through Gmail, rest assured you're always protected by Google, as long as you follow the best practices that we provide you with. And the reason why we are capable of performing all these things is just because of our machine learning technology. We embedded AI and machine learning technology in many facets of our Google Workspace product. So just to give you an idea, the scale that we're operating, right? So every minute, 10 million spams are prevented from reaching Google Workspace. So as we speak, our machine learning technology in our data centers are blocking 10 million spams within just a span of 1 minute. So that's many spams that we're able to block, 10 million. And also remember previously, when you click on the link in your email and goes to website, we will always scan those links to make sure it's secure. We actually every minute we do an index scan of almost 700,000 index web pages. We scan them for harmful software, harmful malwares, and harmful content, so you're always protected. URLs that are malicious and deceitful, executable, or maybe Google Chrome browser extensions that are stealing your data, we actually block that 7,000 of them every minute because there's so many bad actors out there. So this is just to show you we are doing a lot of things behind the scene to protect you as a customer. You don't have to worry about the security because we do it for you. That's our commitment. When we launch this product, we want to make sure that the users are always secure. So with that, you can collaborate easily with your colleagues, with your partners, with your vendors, or even with families and friends through Google Cloud Platform, through Google Workspace Platform. But at the same time, you can do this securely, knowing that Google does a lot of things to keep you secure in the internet. I'm gonna take a quick pause at this point. I'll go to my demo environment. So now I'm showing you a Gmail interface. You're probably most likely familiar with this. Let me make it bigger. So if I go to mail.google.com, you can see the same interface that you're seeing. On the left hand side, you can see your emails, you can see your chat, you can see your Google Meet, right? All in one place. So if I want to compose my email, I simply click that. I'm sure you're familiar with that, but I want to show you this one too. So let's say you have chat or maybe instant messages with your colleagues. So I can see, so I can talk to my friends, my colleagues over here through the same interface, right? I can collaborate on a document with them. Let's say I have this document that I want to discuss with the team. I can see something like this, right? If I want to have a group chat, let's say I run a project for supplier annual review. So there's so many people in this group. In this case, there are 7 of them, right? we're collaborating on the same project. Here, not only I can send text messages, but at the same time, I can also start a quick meeting like this. I can also attach documents. I can also see the documents that are shared before. So this is the file repository for this email or for this project. So I can see I have this newsletter, I have this evaluation score, I have all the data that I need, all within the single view. I also have this presentation that I need to present as part of this project and whatnot. Lastly, I also have Task Manager. So my colleague needs to send out an email. I can set the due date. The due date, let's say the due date is in 1st of November, something like that, right? So all these things are integrated within just one view. I can do so many things just by going to mail.google.com. I can click my calendar on the right hand side to see what meeting I have next. I can see my contact information too, see my colleagues, how can I talk to them, right? So all these things are available. Now I want to demo a few things that I mentioned to you about. Remember I mentioned about confidential mode, where let's say I want to send something that's confidential. I want to make sure that the recipient will not be able to copy my email, will not be able to forward my email. So I can send something to this person, let's say Ellen, my colleague. Confidential email, please do not share, something like this, just as an example. So if I want to enable the confidential mode, I can click something like this. It says toggle confidential mode. In confidential mode, I can set the expiration date of this email. So after 1 week, in this case, after 1 week, which is next week on Friday, this person will not be able to see my email anymore because I have set it as expired, right? I can also ask the person to whether use passcode or not for accessing this email. This is just to increase the security of the email. So if they want to see the email, they have to get an SMS from Google to make sure they are an intended recipient. If I do this, again, the recipient will not be able to forward, copy, or print or download this email. So let me just click save, and it will show you that the content is going to expire on 18th of October and the recipient will not be able to download. If I click send, then done. That person will receive this email. They will be able to see this email within the next 1 week. After that, they won't be able to do it anymore. Previously, I also mentioned about scheduling. So let's say you want to conduct a meeting with someone. So let's meet. Of course, if you're busy, it's really hard to find common availability with your colleagues or maybe with your customers. So Google has this feature called set up a time to meet. This button. If I click this, I can click offer times that you're free. So basically, I can tell that audience, that colleague that says, I will be available to meet today at 2 p.m. Okay, as one option. Then alternatively, I'll also be available on Monday, 10 a.m. Or maybe Monday, 3 p.m. I also be available. Or maybe on Wednesday, 1 p.m. after lunch. So I have provided all these options. Then I can click next and add to email. So once I do this, you notice that my email is expanded and it says proposed time, and there are buttons in my email. So I can just say to this person, let's meet today or next week. Please choose your availability. Something like this. And then after that, I can click send. So essentially, the recipient of this email, they can see, okay, I have 4 options, which one I want to take. Let's say if I want to take Monday 3 p.m. As a recipient, I can just click this, and a meeting invite will be automatically created. So that comes in handy for you to manage. Yeah, it will look like something like this. So the recipient will see something like this. If I click this, it will automatically create a Google Calendar invite. Yeah, something like this. Okay. Lastly, I want to show you is probably the document approval. So let's say you are working on an SOW with your vendor about a certain project, right? So you have all these details in a document. Maybe you have gone through several rounds of revisions, but you want to finalize this and get an approval from the procurement manager, let's say. So from this Google Docs, I can go to File and then Approvals. Okay, so in this case, I can make a request for approval. I can add the procurement manager. I think I can just use this person. Okay, I can send an email to him saying that please review this latest SOW for our project. Appreciate your approval. Something like this. So by doing this, I'm asking my procurement manager to review this document and also to approve this document so that I can execute this contract. I can add a due date. Let's say the due date is next week, Friday next week, like this. I can also lock the document. So I click this and I click send. Of course, I need to share this document with this person, and I click send. Once I send this, my document is now locked. Why is it locked? It's because it is still pending approval. Someone else needs to review this document and then approve. And by doing that, I want to prevent anyone from editing this document because this document is currently pending approval. If this is already approved, then the lock will remain because after approval, we don't want anyone else to mess up or maybe to edit the document anymore. So that will help you with your workflow. If you have I'm pretty sure in ministries, in your team, you'll encounter the same use cases whereby you need to create a document and also ask for approval. You can use this built-in feature within Google Workspace. Okay, in the interest of time, I can move on to the next topic. I'll quickly continue with the next topic, which is AI. Okay, so this is the future work of AI. Okay, so AI is embedded in every part of the world right now, right? If you see the technology out there, it's always about AI, AI, AI. So with AI, we also want to embed it with Google Workspace so that you can collaborate more easily within Google Workspace, so you can do it faster. Google is actually an industry pioneer in AI. Many of you probably have heard of ChatGPT before. They launched ChatGPT in 2022, end of 2022, but ChatGPT, the T actually stands for transformer. So in 2017, Google actually launched something called Transformer. It is actually a research project for a large language model for AI. And ChatGPT is adopting the technology that we built back in 2017. So Google, that's why we call ourselves as the pioneer in AI, because we have done this AI many years ago, and now we have transformed the technology into something that you can easily use, which is called Gemini. I will explain to you later through demos. So with Gemini, Now we are adding the AI capabilities to many parts of Google Workspace. So from Google Docs and Gmail, it can help you write documents. It can help you connect through Google Meet, through translation. It can help you build and generate Google Slides presentation, and also organize your data. I will not go through this in more detail, but I will do a lot of demos on this one. So essentially, with this, with the help of AI, you can be more productive. Instead of typing everything manually, instead of analyzing your data manually too, you can ask AI to do that. Okay. We also have something called Gemini app. This is something that you can use even today with your free account. Gemini.google.com. Just try this one. You can try asking questions to gemini.google.com. It will give you the right answer. Okay. I'll probably skip through all these things. Oh, this is actually really important. And this is about data privacy and governance. Sometimes when users like you want to talk to AI, want to work on an AI platform, the concern is always about data privacy. Will AI leak your data? Will AI use your document or the data for some model training, or someone is looking at your data, or no, or whatnot, right? Google has a commitment to make sure that AI is always within your data boundary. So we maintain your privacy. If you use Google Workspace Gemini, you will be protected by this data privacy and governance. Whatever you put, whatever you type, whatever you upload to Gemini, our AI platform, will remain for your session. It will not be shared with anyone else. It will not be used for Google to conduct any model training and whatnot. So it belongs to you. So that's our commitment. So now you might think of the use cases whereby you can use AI for, right? So some of the few things that you can use AI for, especially in public sector like ministries. So let's say you have policy papers. Let me just open this paper for you. Something like this, right? This is a speech actually from a minister of finance in Singapore. Just pick a random example. And you might want to know the details or maybe the summary of that speech, right? So what you can do is you go to gemini.google.com, you ask something like this: summarize the speech in this document, and then after that you upload that PDF document to this UI, and it will give you the summary, the key points of all the things that the minister mentioned in the speech. After this, you can also translate this to other languages, whether it's to your local language, whether it's to other languages that you want to translate this to. You can do that. You can also ask questions based on a certain document. Let's say you have a policy document about certain regulations within the Ministry of Finance. You want to ask some questions about it, right? So what you can do is just you upload the document, you ask question based on that document, something like this. In this case, I'm just asking about the CDC voucher. CDC voucher is just an example that we have in Singapore for Minister of Finance. So if I ask questions, the document has that information. AI will try to look for that information for me, so I don't have to read through all the document. It helps me with translations. This is just an example of translation to Hindi actually, but we actually support more than 40 languages in gemini.google.com. One of them is Tamil. Actually, Tamil is included in Gemini. So if you talk to or maybe if you type something in Tamil, Google will be able to understand it, and also it can respond to you in Tamil as well. And let's say you want to create a communication email. Instead of typing it manually, you can just draft the email from gemini.google.com. here. Maybe later I'll do more demos on this one. Okay. And summarizing videos. Let's say you have a video that you want to summarize, or you want to ask questions from, right? So here, just paste the link to the YouTube video that you need, or maybe in the future you can upload the video to ask AI to analyze the video and also provide the result to you. So in this case, I just simply upload this or add the link to the YouTube video, and I get the summary of the video. Creating images is also easy. So if you have an idea of creating a certain images, just type in gemini.google.com. You'll be able to see the images generated by Google. For IT people, especially software developers, sometimes you need to do a code debug, right? Maybe you found a bug in your code, or you want to analyze a certain code. Just ask AI to do it for you. So let's say in this case, I have a code in GitHub. I upload it to Gemini. I ask Gemini to explain to me what the code actually does, right? And it gives me a detailed explanation about the code, about the method in each code, what it will do. So it helped me not only on a daily basis with my emails, but at the same time, it helps me develop my software too. Okay, so without further ado, I'll do demos on this one. Let me switch to my demo environment. Oh, by the way, maybe before I go on to demo, I want to show you a best practice of using Gemini, or maybe any generative AI tools out there, like Copilot or even ChatGPT, right? We have something new that is called prompting. This is something that's coming up in the recent years because of AI. Prompt is a way for us to communicate with AI machine, right? So when we talk to AI, of course, we need to be clever. We need to make sure that the AI can understand what we want to achieve. That's why we call it prompt engineering. It means that we have to master these skills in talking to AI. Because if you talk in AI in a very generic way, AI will give you something generic too. But if you talk with AI in a very smart way, very detailed way, it will give you the more relevant information. So we have a study basically about on 10,000 usage of Gemini. We noticed that many people are actually just using simple prompts. So for example, you type in something like create an email to my boss, or maybe summarize this document. So basically very short prompts. We noticed that many of them are using 9 words only. This is not ideal. It is working, but it's not ideal. We noticed that in order for you to be more precise in communicating with AI, is that you have to have at least these 4 components. These are optional, of course, but as a best practice, it's better if you can include all these 4 components. So let's say you are asking AI to do a certain things. So here the task is actually for AI to draft an email, right? If I simply just type this, AI will not be able to give me a good information. But if I follow the best practice, which is persona, context, task, and format, we call it PTCF, I will be able to get a better format. So let's say here as an example, in AI, I can just tell AI, you are a Google Cloud account executive. This is a way for me to tell AI, please, when you craft an email for me, please act as an account executive, as a salesperson, so that the output is better. And then I have the blue one, which is task. The task is to of course, to draft an email, right? And there's a yellow one, which we call context. So essentially, I'm giving context to the AI by saying, you need to create an email, but based on challenges in 2023 Q4 report, something like that. So that's also another context. And then lastly, you can also include the format. You tell AI what the format you want to achieve, right? So in this case, you want to have a format of 250 characters only, and you want to use bullet points. So when you want to communicate with AI, you can be more specific like this, and I'm pretty sure you will be able to get a good quality result out of AI.
Excuse me.
Yes, yeah, Chandika.
That's mean we need to give a accurate structure, no?
Yes, that's correct. It's optional. I will show you later on the differences actually. So if you are more specific, more detailed, you will get a better result. If you just simply use a simple prompt like this, and you will get something that's generic as well. Later in the demo, I'll show you the difference. This is a good thing to learn because going forward, we will use AI every single day, right? So that means we, as a user, we need to know how to communicate with AI in the best way, in order for AI to understand what we want to achieve. I'll switch to my demo environment so you'll be able to see how I use these best practices in talking to AI. Okay, the first thing that I want to show you is this one, gemini.google.com. Okay, so as I mentioned before, if you have a Google account, just try this. Even if using your Gmail account, just type gemini.google.com. You'll see something like this. What's different is probably this one. For me, I have the license to have the higher Gemini tier, which is Gemini Advanced, so that my responses might be better than if you compare it with the free version using your free Gmail account. Okay, so I want to show you one thing. I have this PDF file, just as an example. This PDF file is about Sri Lanka development update. This is the report from World Bank, just a random example that I picked from the internet. This is from 2016. Okay, so this document has many images, has many paragraphs, and it's 45 page long. Sometimes I need a quick data to work with, right? So I don't have time to go through all these pages in order to understand what I need to do. So with the help of AI, you can actually simplify this. You can do something like this. So before this webinar, I have done this. So you can see an example. So I simply upload this PDF file, this same PDF file, to gemini.google.com, and my request to Gemini is very simple. Summarize this document. Okay, it's very straightforward, it's very simple. And then now I have a result that says, okay, this is the summary. It's about Sri Lanka development update, biannual publication from World Bank, blah blah blah. It provides the in-depth examination of the economics, policies, and whatnot. So all these things, this is a very short summary of the document. Does it give me the ideas that I'm looking for? Maybe not, because this is a very short summary. But I do another one. So here I say, summarize these documents into key bullet points. So here in this document, in this example, I'm saying to Gemini, please give me the key items, the key ideas in bullet points, right? So I am giving more instructions to Gemini. Now, if you see the result, it gives me better result, right? Here is a summary of the document in key bullet points. it dissects the responses in multiple aspects. From the economic growth, I can see the the main ideas of that document. From the challenges in the fiscal year, I can see the key ideas. External sector, about inflation, about policies, challenges, and outlook. All these things are coming from that document, and I can immediately get ideas. Oh, okay. So apparently, in 2015, 2016, there was a deceleration because of inflation by several percent, something like that. So I can use this very quickly to get insights from PDF documents. Okay, so I advise you, if you want to use Google Gemini for your day-to-day work, you can do it. You can consider the free one. You can consider the advanced version, because advanced version will give you better result in crunching data, and also give you better output in general. Okay, I want to show you another one. So let's say I have this prepared for you before. So this is a slightly longer version. Let's dissect this together. Okay, so this example, I am asking Gemini to draft me an email. Okay, so I set the persona for this AI. I said, you are a change management officer in a government agency. So I am very specific in this one, right? I can be more specific too. I can just say in the Ministry of Finance, something like this. Something like this. I can be more specific, okay? And then I can say the ministry is announcing a new policy to ban the access of personal emails on government devices. So this is the context that I'm providing to AI. I'm not simply saying AI to build me an email, but I'm giving more information to AI that this is something that we want to achieve at the ministerial level. Okay. Then the task is to create a communication email to all government employees about the ban of personal emails. But at the same time, I gave more context. Please cite risk of government information leak, phishing, malware, and data sovereignty. So even though this looks simple, it has all the components that I mentioned before in the best practice. It has the persona, it has the context, it has the task, and it also has the format, because I want AI to follow my direction. Okay, and then once done, I can click submit. And now I have a very nicely written email that I can use. So the subject is this one. That's a very nicely written email about this policy that I'm announcing as a change management officer. There are some key bullet points about the reason why we are launching this new policy, and also some PR languages, right? If they have any questions, they can contact help desk and whatnot. Okay, so change management officer, Ministry of Finance, something like this. I can edit this. I can share this, let's say, to a draft in Gmail. It will open a Gmail interface for me. Okay, so you can see the email is nicely written, but of course I can change some of the information, something like this, maybe help desk, blah blah blah. I can also change maybe some of the wording you want to change, up to you, but you don't have to start from zero when building this email. So that saves you a lot of time, because when you draft something like this, sometimes you have to think about the language, sometimes you have to think about the message that you want to convey to the users. With this, you don't have to anymore, because AI will be able to help you. Okay, that's just one of the things that AI can do. There's so many other things. I can go on and on actually. I'll just show you a few other things. Let's say you are working on a data analysis. Okay, so let me just show you the data. Okay, so maybe you are part of the government procurement committee, and you are doing a survey or maybe evaluation on the government suppliers. So you have so many surveys here, data that are related to the suppliers that you work with, right? With the evaluation score like this. The traditional way of doing this is you crunch the data manually, you see the impact, you create maybe tables like this, you create charts and whatnot, right? Something like this. But with AI, you don't have to do it anymore. So let's say this data is available for you. I can go to Gemini. I upload that same data. Let me upload it. This is the Excel file that I have, right? Okay. Oh, maybe I need to change this data a bit. Give me a second. Let me delete this one. Okay, so let me download this as maybe as a CSV. Okay. All right. So I can go back to Gemini. I can upload that CSV file. Then here I can ask questions like, for example, based on the supplier evaluation data in the CSV file, summarize the average. Let me see the data first. So we want to see the evaluation score, the average evaluation score per sub-region. So I can do something like that. Summarize the average evaluation score for each sub-region, something like this. Okay, so now Gemini is analyzing the data that I have, and it is drafting my responses. So it says, I will calculate the average of evaluation score for each sub-region. And now I can see the data immediately. So I can see for sub-region A, the evaluation score average is this, B is this, C is, and so on and so forth. I can also export this to Google Sheets if I want to, right? At the same time, I can also do this further. So let's say I want to say, create a bar chart based on that summary, something like this. Oh, sorry, typo. Let's see if it still understands me. Okay, so it still understands me. So now it says it's creating a bar chart for me to show the average evaluation score for each sub-region. So you can see I have bar charts, which is kind of dynamic, right? I can see the average evaluation score if I hover on this. So sub-region A, B, C, and D, and so on. I can even zoom in and zoom out like this. Okay, I can expand. I can see the details. I can see the data table. Then I can do my analysis. If I want to paste this into a Google Slides or maybe my PowerPoint, I can just simply click this copy, and this chart will be available for me to paste in Google Slides. So that helps you a lot in crunching data. I like using this actually because it saves a lot of time for me. Okay, other things that you can do. Maybe I'll switch to maybe Google Docs. This one, Google Docs. So the use case of this is for you to write data, to write information using AI, using Gemini. So in this case, let's say I'm a manager. I need to promote my team member. I need to provide basically a recommendation to HR on how this person is performing well and they deserve a promotion. Okay. Writing recommendation is sometimes hard because you have to think about the wordings, you have to get some ideas on what you write and whatnot, right? So instead of typing everything and then spending hours in crafting your story for this promotion, you can just type in the bullet points. Because I'm his manager, I know that I want to promote Alex to be promoted in my department because Alex has done this 5 things: exceeded the KPI, the project successful, project efficiency by 20%, increasing efficiency. He has exceptional problem solving skills, strong communication, highly motivated, and a self-starter. So these are the things that I know about this person. But in order for me to draft something that is nicely written, it will take me hours usually to write a good recommendation letter. Okay, so for that, I can simply go to help me write. I click this button and I say to AI something like this: write a letter of recommendation for Alex to be promoted in his department. Use the information in the bullet points I provided. Something like this. Okay, so I click create. Okay, it will take a while. Give me a second. Okay, and now I have this letter. Let me just show you. You can refine the output. You can shorten it up. Let's see just the result. So I click insert. Now I have a very good letter of recommendation. So it says, to whom it may concern, I'm writing this letter, blah, 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 to promote. And if you see the paragraphs actually follow the instructions that I put together over here. So it says about the accomplishment of the KPI, about improving the team efficiency, problem solving skills and whatnot. All these are actually written nicely in paragraphs, right? Imagine if you have to do this every single performance review year, right? As a manager, maybe you can just simply type in what you want to write and then ask Gemini to write the rest for you. So that's how you can use Gemini to be more productive in Google Workspace. Again, the one that I'm showing you are probably just some of the things that you can do. We can do a lot more with AI with just the right prompts. So if you go to gemini.google.com, you can ask a lot more questions about it. Previously, I was trying to generate a SOW for my demo. I simply just asked AI to build it for me, so I don't have to do it myself, right? If I have reports of cybersecurity, I can just upload it. I get insights immediately from there. If I want to write a code, I can just submit my ideas to AI. So I have a screenshot of this mobile app that I want to build. I ask AI to build the code for me so that I can have this user interface in my mobile app. So it shows me Flutter code, which is for mobile application development in Android. So I can see all these codes are generated by AI for me to build something like this for the UI. So a lot of things you can do with AI these days. That's the end of my presentation.